Hello everybody, I'm Ryan from Fireside Yankees, welcoming you back for the third episode of our Baby Bombers podcast. And in today's episode, we're going to discuss the Yankees' upper-level minor league pitching depth, delving into arms who can make an impact at the major league level in 2024. The Yankees have plenty of interesting names in their farm system that they can call upon, but before we get into today's video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell. And without further ado, let's get into today's video. Let's get things started here with Clayton Beeter. Now, Clayton Beeter is the number 16 prospect in the Yankee organization, according to Baseball America. This past season between AA and AAA, he put up a 3.62 ERA, a 4.62 FIP, a 28.8% strikeout rate, but struggled with walks and home runs as he had a 13.1% walk rate and a 1.23 home run per nine. Now, he's a two-pitch pitcher. He does have a curveball and changeup, but he doesn't rely on either pitch enough for me to sit here and say that there are pitches that are extremely prominent in his repertoire. He's a two-pitch pitcher. He's a fastball slider guy. His fastball sits at 93.4 miles an hour with 16.6 inches of induced vertical break. He only threw it in zone 44.6% of the time. That's a big yikes. That's not great. You want to see your fastball in zone more often in terms of, showing command and the ability to throw strikes. For a slider, now this was his best pitch. Yes, it's at 83.5 miles an hour, and it's not a sweeper, so it's a softer gyro slider, but it has a lot of drop, negative 1.3 inches of induced vertical break. That is over 17 inches of vertical separation off the fastball with 2.8 inches of glove side movement at a 36% whiff rate. And it was a great pitch for him. Now, personally, I think Clayton Beeter is a guy who is going to end up in a bullpen or multi-inning role, but people forget that this is a guy who has not pitched a lot. He has not had a lot of experience at the professional level. He only had 41 college innings. He only had 1 year as a starter in college, so he's a very green prospect. I think he has time to develop still. I think the next course of action for him is adding a third pitch. He is a natural supinator, so I think a cutter could make a lot of sense here. Perhaps they have him work on his off-speed pitches more. I know that in an article from The Athletic after the season, Sam Breen kind of talked about how an off-speed pitch is something that Clayton Beeter's been working on all year. It'll be interesting to see if the Yankees try to change some things there because it just wasn't a very effective pitch for him. But again, I think a cutter just makes sense. It fits his profile extremely well, and for those reasons, I think Beeter could end up being a pretty solid pitcher for the Yankees, whether it's as a reliever or a starter, and he still has got some development to go. The player comparison here I would use is Johnny Brito. He was an unfinished product when he entered the major leagues, and the Yankees adjusted some things with him, adding a sweeper, and he got better because of it. So definitely think this is a guy who could get better with the Yankees in 2024. Moving on to the second pitcher here, we have Yoendrys Gomez, and in AA this past year, he had a 3.58 ERA, a 3.83 FIP, a 28.5% strikeout rate. Also struggled with command with a 13.5% walk rate and a 0.83 home runs per nine. Now, he made his major league debut this past season, tossing 2 scoreless innings with 4 strikeouts against the Toronto Blue Jays, and he has a very diverse arsenal, and it is a starter's repertoire. He has a good four-seam fastball, it gets good vertical break, it's a cut-ride fastball. His slider is pretty good as well, it gets nice sweeping action. He's got a cutter, he's got a curveball, he's got a changeup that has plenty of vertical separation off his fastball. There is a lot to like here in terms of his ability to be a starting pitcher on the stuff basis, but then you look at the command and you look at the injury history, and those two things scream reliever. He has not been able to stay healthy. This past season, he couldn't even complete 5 innings in a single outing, and that was because the Yankees had to build him back up. He had an injury that he suffered during spring training. It knocked him out for the first part of the year. I don't think Yoendrys Gomez is going to end up becoming a starter because of it. Now, granted, he still has some time. It's not like he's, entering a year where he absolutely has to figure it out as a starting pitcher now or he'll never figure it out. But he does have only 1 more year as a guy with minor league options. He will have an opportunity to get stretched out in AAA, and we'll get to see if he can stay healthy. We'll also see a good amount of him in spring training. He's been on the Yankees 40-man roster for a few years now, and I think that's intentional. I think the Yankees have always really liked this guy. I like his stuff. I think the profile is really good. He gets good extension as well. Because of his extension, his fastball plays up a little bit more than 94.5. It actually plays more like 95, 96. And again, ultimately, he's a really good pitcher. I think the stuff here is excellent. This is a guy who I think could be a really nice piece for the Yankee bullpen. I'm going to, again, doubt his ability to start just because of the injury track record. But if he ever figures out a way to just stay somewhat healthy, this is a guy who could certainly profile as a starting pitcher. You've got the four-seamer, you've got the slider, you've got a cutter, you've got a curveball, you've got a changeup. You've got everything you need. You've got all the movement profiles that you could possibly ask for, vertically, horizontally, left, right, wherever you need to go. He is a natural supinator, which makes sense. He's got a sweeping slider, he's got a cutter, he's got a curveball. curveball, he's got a four-seamer, but he still has the ability to throw a pretty solid changeup with 16 inches of run and only 4.6 inches of induced vertical break, meaning again, there is a lot of vertical separation there. He is a low slot guy, so when he releases the ball, it also comes out of a lower slot. That makes his four-seam fastball play up. That creates more drop on the changeup. Everything is really good here, but again, he's just never healthy, and because of it, he's probably not a starting pitcher, but he's certainly a guy who can be kind of a versatile pitcher for the Yankees next year. You could see him throw 1 inning in the 5th, throw 2 innings to open a game, throw 3 innings to close out a game, maybe even 4 or 5 if the Yankees need it, but again, the stuff is there, it's just a matter of the health. The next guy we're going to talk about is Luis Gil. Now, Luis Gil has the most major league experience on this list, and he didn't pitch much last year because of Tommy John surgery, which he was able to recover from and actually get it back on the mound. He struggled in single A, but we're going to talk about his major league stats instead because that's the most recent sample size of data we have at the highest level of professional play. And in that stretch, he had a 3.78 ERA, a 4.12 FIP, a 29.1% strikeout rate, a 14.2% walk rate, and a 1.08 home runs per 9. Now, the thing that sticks out here is obviously the walk rate. He does not have great command, and he's also a 2-pitch pitcher just like Clayton Beeter, which would raise concerns about his ability to start. But I will say this, Luis Gil's stuff is upper echelon. He had an above average pitching plus, he had a great stuff plus. He is so good, his talent is unbelievable, but it's a question of how he'll return from injury. His fastball averages 96 miles an hour with 17.6 inches of induced vertical break, 4.5 inches of arm side run, and had a 131 stuff plus. He also releases this pitch from a slightly lower arm slot, which makes it pretty deceptive, and he also has a stellar slider that he throws at 85.4 miles an hour with a good amount of sweep at 8.1 inches of glove side movement. And I think this could be a guy who succeeds as a starting pitcher even with 2 pitches, but the issue is the Tommy John surgery. He already had command issues before the injury, and coming back from injury usually means working out some issues with your feel and command, and I'm just not sure he's going to be able to figure it out in time. Now, he's going to have an opportunity to get a run in AAA and get stretched as a starter and figure things out, but I don't have a reason to believe the command's going to get significantly better. If it does, that's great. This is a guy who could also benefit from having a cutter, but I just think he screams great reliever. Like, the stuff is so good that you just know this guy would dominate out of the bullpen for the Yankees, especially with 2 of his pitches having great movement profiles and great velocity, but you don't want to try to force him to be a starter if he's not ready for it. I think they should stretch him out. They have to figure out if he's capable of matching the production he had at the major league level prior to Tommy John surgery, but I do doubt his ability to find that command. Again, a cutter would actually be a really nice pitcher. I know I mentioned that already, but I think it's a good strike throwing pitch. Those are pitches the Yankees teach to a lot of the young guys. Perhaps, Luis Gil is a guy who could learn it. He is a natural supinator. He gets around the baseball, and I think he would throw a pretty damn good cutter, so we'll wait and see on that front. But Gil might be the surest bet on this list in terms of guys who will at least become major league contributors in 2024 because he's already contributed at the major league level, and his stuff is arguably the best of anybody that we're going to discuss today. So definitely be excited about Luis Gil, but maybe it's not going to be as a starter. Now we have the Yankees' number 1 pitching prospect, the number 6 prospect in the organization according to Baseball America, and that's Chase Hampton. Chase Hampton broke out in his first season as a professional last year, putting up a 3.63 ERA, a 3.38 FIP, striking out 33.1% of batters faced, having an 8.4% walk rate, and a 1.10 home runs per 9. His fastball is elite, and it's the only pitch we have public data on in terms of pitch shapes because he didn't pitch in AAA, so we don't have any StatCast or TrackMan reads. But according to Baseball America, his fastball averages 93.9 miles an hour, 18.9 inches of induced vertical break, and 6 to 7 inches of arm side break. That's a really elite fastball, and given the fact that he's learned a cutter and sweeper with the Yankee organization and has always had a great feel for his curveball, he is an excellent pitcher with a great profile. He's been dubbed the mini Cole, the baby Cole, the guy that the Yankees think can become a frontline starting pitcher for them down the road, and there is a lot to love here. His profile got better throughout the season because he kept adding velocity. He's taken huge leaps in terms of strike throwing thanks to mechanical tweaks the Yankees made as well. Yes, his delivery is a little bit long. Sure, there were struggles in AA, but you kind of assume those things are going to get hammered out in year 2 with the organization, and this is a guy the Yankees could see as soon as this season. And just to clarify, he pitched this year for the first time in professional baseball. He was drafted in 2022, but he was a 6th round pick. The Yankees did not utilize him at the minor league level that year. They didn't let him pitch, short season baseball or whatever it may be, but he was truly excellent. truly impressive, and there is a lot to love here. He is the least likely guy on this list to debut in 2024 or to get major league reps in 2024, but he might be the most talented pitcher on this list and the guy with the most upside. He is certainly one of the best pitching prospects in baseball. He is a top 100 prospect, and I believe the Yankees have a great pitcher right here with great potential. The final pitcher we're going to talk about on this list is the guy that I think will have the most major league impact for the Yankees, and that's Will Warren. Now, Will Warren is graded as the number 9 prospect in the organization by Baseball America, and he put up a great season between AA and AAA this year. He had a 3.38 ERA. He was able to show off great abilities to keep the ball on the ground, generate strikeouts with a 27% strikeout rate and a ground ball rate above 50%, and while he did have a high walk rate, his walk rate has to be compared to the league average, and in AAA, his walk rate was slightly better than the league average pitcher in the International League, as the International League saw the experimentation of the ABS, which is the automatic ball strike system, and robo umpires. Now, Will Warren put up a 124.5 stuff plus and a 107.4 pitching plus, which were the best marks for any pitcher in AAA with at least 500 pitches thrown. He has excellent command and feel for a sinker and sweeper, which can generate swings and misses, or called strikes, or soft contact, really whatever he needs, and allowed him to dominate right-handed batters, but the thing he was missing was a pitch with vertical movement that he could use up in the zone to get left-handed batters out. And that was a four-seam fastball he was able to locate better throughout the season, especially in the month of September, where he posted a 0.63 ERA, had a strikeout to walk rate better than 20%, and didn't allow a single home run. He looked truly excellent that month, and I believe that's where he put his name on the radar for the Yankees and proved himself to be a major league caliber pitcher despite not getting any reps last year at the major league level and not being on their 40-man roster yet due to the fact that he is not Rule 5 eligible, and the Yankees are not going to start his clock if he's not somebody they're going to call upon just yet. And to clarify, I don't think on opening day the New York Yankees plan to have Will Warren on their major league roster. It would take some injuries and some things going wrong for them for the Yankees to consider putting him on there. I think they're going to sign a reliever that covers another spot on the 26-man roster and gives them a complete bullpen. But in the same way that guys like Johnny Brito, Randy Vasquez, Michael King, Clark Schmidt kind of came up as relievers and figured out ways to become starting pitchers, I think the same will ring true for a guy like Will Warren. I love the stuff here. I think the profile is really good. I love when a pitcher has great stuff plus numbers because it indicates that they have high upside. I think stuff is way more sustainable year to year than command, and for that reason, I always pick stuff first guys. And I said I think stuff is more sticky year to year. It is proven to be more sticky year to year than command. Command can fluctuate, things can go wrong, injuries, things of that nature, whereas stuff usually stays consistent, barring a massive decrease in velocity, which ties back to a more serious injury, and pitchers don't really pitch through serious injuries nowadays, especially younger guys. So in the way that Will Warren just can spin the baseball and generate wicked movement, I think he's going to have a major league impact for the Yankees next year, and I'm very excited for what he can provide in 2024. Let me know what minor league pitchers you guys think will contribute for the Yankees this upcoming season. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below, and you can join the conversation on our social media pages on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and of course this YouTube page. You guys can check out empiresportsmedia.com. We've got some really cool prospect content that's going to be coming out there, and we've got you guys covered for all your favorite New York sports teams. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow at Ryan Garcia ESM. Links are all in the description. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you haven't done so already, like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. We appreciate you guys for sticking through for the entire video, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.